What are historical examples of voter suppression in US elections? Voter suppression has been a part of the United States election process for many years. It refers to practices aimed at reducing or preventing certain groups from voting. Historically, these efforts have often targeted racial minorities, especially African Americans. Let's look at some key examples that highlight this issue. After the Civil War, the 15th Amendment granted African Americans the right to vote. However, Southern states quickly enacted Jim Crow laws to limit this right. These laws included poll taxes, which required voters to pay a fee to vote, and literacy tests that assessed reading skills. These tests were often unfairly applied, allowing white voters to bypass them through grandfather clauses. Additionally, all-white primary elections kept black voters from participating in the Democratic Party, which was dominant in the South. Gerrymandering, or redrawing district lines to weaken minority voting power, also became common. In some cases, outright fraud was used to suppress votes. This included ballot box stuffing and intimidation at polling places, especially in areas with large African American populations. Poll taxes and literacy tests continued to disenfranchise voters well into the 20th century. Many poor and minority individuals found it nearly impossible to meet these requirements. The Voting Rights Act of 1965 was a significant step forward, prohibiting racial discrimination in voting. It included measures for federal oversight of elections in states with histories of discrimination. However, a Supreme Court decision in 2013 weakened these protections, removing the requirement for federal approval of changes to voting laws. Following this, many states introduced strict voter identification laws, reduced early voting, and closed polling places in minority neighborhoods. Voter roll purges have also been a tactic used to suppress votes. This involves removing individuals from voter registration lists, often under the pretense of keeping accurate records. This practice disproportionately affects minority communities. Voter-cading, which involves sending mail to suspected voters and challenging their eligibility if the mail is returned, has also been used. In the 1980s, the Republican National Committee sent mailings to African American neighborhoods. When many of these mailings were returned, they challenged those voters' registrations, leading to their removal from voter rolls. This violated the Voting Rights Act and resulted in legal action. During the 2006 Virginia Senate election, there were documented cases of voter suppression. Misinformation calls falsely warned voters they would be arrested for voting. Some voters were misled about polling locations, while others received flyers urging them to skip the election. Felony disenfranchisement laws in many states prevent individuals with felony convictions from voting, even after serving their sentences. These laws disproportionately affect minority communities and have roots in efforts to suppress black votes after the Civil War. Understanding these historical examples highlights how voter suppression can take many forms. It shows that barriers to voting can be legal or illegal, overt or subtle, and often target specific groups to influence election outcomes. Awareness of these issues is essential for protecting voting rights and ensuring fair access to the electoral process.